Yankees are hopefully coming. Yankees and Mets and baseball and spring training and all that stuff that comes with the warm weather and the, in my opinion, and I know it's not quite what it was for some, but baseball, there's still nothing better than baseball. We have a real interesting situation, though, with Aaron Judge. Aaron Judge, to me, well, let me first ask the question, all right? Name a more marketable New York athlete right now than Aaron Judge.
I mean, Zach is, obviously.
Well, but, okay, go ahead. Zach Wilson?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, marketable?
Yeah.
Of course he's marketable.
Well, but I'm when I use the word marketable,
you're talking about because he has success.
I'm including everything.
Yeah, I mean,
star power,
I'm just talking about brand,
he looks good.
Good-looking dude.
He's the good-looking guy, isn't he?
He's the quarterback of the Jets.
Just broke up with his girl.
Did he?
Yeah. Did you see what she looks like too?
I did not.
I mean, if you break up with that, you are.
I mean,
you've got options.
He's the quarterback. He is the quarterback of the Jets.
Yeah, but so was Darnold. I don't think Darnold was running around with that. It's his girl. It's his ex-girlfriend from Utah, though. So I'm not trying to be weird or get out of line here. They broke up, and I'm sure it's amicable. We hope. Either way, hopefully he's a good football player.
To answer your question, not many people.
Exactly. So I mean,
if anybody, it's probably Aaron Judge.
It's Aaron Judge. It's not Kevin Durant. It's not. They're better. They might be better. Well, Kevin Durant is better than relative to the sport. It's not Kyrie Irving. It's not a Ranger yet. You want to tell me DeGrom, but I think it's hard for a pitcher to be that every 5 days.
Yeah, you're incorporating talent. You're incorporating perception. You're incorporating likability.
Everything.
Like all that stuff.
The whole spiel.
Yeah. Aaron checks all the boxes, man.
Yeah. I thought maybe for a minute it could have been Saquon when he first stepped on the scene.
Yeah. He just hasn't been healthy.
Yeah.
And so ultimately, neither is Aaron Judge, but it feels like we have a definition of what Aaron Judge is at his greatest.
Mm-hmm.
We kind of don't have that with Saquon yet.
Yeah, we got a glimpse early, and then it's been fairly incomplete for a multitude of reasons since.
Yeah.
I wouldn't put Lindor in this category, but if Lindor, had this great first season last year with the Mets, his personality, I think will, and I do think he bounces back this year, especially with better players around him, will elevate him to a level that is highly marketable. I hope for Met fans, highly productive. But the thing about Judge, he's going to be 30 this year, so he's right in the early phase of his prime. He's an undeniable superstar when he's healthy. He's got box office. He's homegrown. Mm-hmm. He's a gentleman. He's a good kid. He's a good young man, which matters. You trust him is what I'm saying.
That's right.
So I don't think that this gets incredibly dicey. But as you said yesterday, and even before we had Sweeney on the show, if they don't hammer out this contract before the lockout ends, they're not talking turkey during the season.
Yeah.
And then we have a different situation.
Yeah, we do because he's obviously a free agent. Now, the question that I'll toss back at you, BT, after we set this up a minute, is that when you listen to Brian Cashman talk about Aaron Judge, he actually contradicts what Sweeney Murdy said, which is that he's not a priority. Brian Cashman will say, obviously, he's a priority, but we know where Brian Cashman's dealing with. He has the money that he's got to think about, and how much cash they're willing. Exactly, he's got an edict. We want to build internally or from our own farm system. Aaron kind of fits that bill, but how much do you want to pay him? So the question is, what's he worth? Like, what's his value if you're going to give him a huge contract? Because the number that I was cursorily searching,
cursorily.
Yeah, just nice. hard word to say, actually.
It is, cursorily.
I won't say it again.
Cursorily. The cursory search, but you make it an adverb, basically. Right. The cursorily?
Yeah, because searching is the verb. And,
I know.
You gotta qualify it.
I understand.
So it wasn't like digging in deep. Was it like drilling?
I get it. Surface check. I understand the word. I'm pretty good with my words.
About 189 to 225
Not even
million
close. 189. Don't insult the man.
So that's what I found, and I agree with you.
Don't insult the man.
He's worth more than that.
Yes,
but will the Yankees be willing to give him that? And if not, who else would? And I think we know who we talked about yesterday. Probably would be in the market for an Aaron Judge type talent,
which would be the Mets.
Yes.
And listen, by the way, who knows? Maybe the Red Sox. I don't know. Toronto always, every couple of years, gets a little wacky with their money. Who knows? But, Betts has that long-term deal with the Dodgers, 12, 13 years? You would think it would preclude the Dodgers, so they seemingly have an endless supply of money.
Yeah, but we heard something interesting about the Dodgers when they signed that deal. Remember, I forgot who we talked to when that deal first happened, and we're like, man, that's a lot of money for a guy who's going to end that contract at 38.
Yeah.
Right? Maybe it was even 40.
I think it was Harold Reynolds, the conversation
I think it was
Harold
Reynolds. And Harold said to us, and I didn't even think about it like this at the time, but it made sense. And he said, look, if they win a World Series, which they have subsequently done, it's worth it. Mm-hmm. It's at 100% worth it from a marketing, from a branding, from a world champion income standpoint. It's absolutely worth it. That calculus works for a team that's owned by Guggenheim partners, right?
Yeah.
Doesn't necessarily work from a family-owned business in a sense.
Well, it's always worked for the family-owned business.
But
they
not
just
lately.
elect.
Not lately.
Well, but it's not that it's not working. They choose not to follow the same blueprint financially. Yeah. They've got the money.
Yeah.
Between the Yes Network, they have got the money,
here's
the
the
Yankees.
Thing. I understand why they're doing what they're doing financially. And we talked to Cece about this a week ago or whenever it was, last week, about how they're not looking to spend the money. But why not anymore? Like, what changed so dramatically? Like, if you want to win a championship and you can spend the money like the Dodgers, why not spend the money like the Dodgers?
Well, I think, this is just a theory. But first, it's funny because when the Dodgers when the Yankees spent $250 million back in 2009, and they brought in Sabathia, and they brought in A.J. Burnett, and they brought in Mark Teixeira, like the Dodgers, that resulted in a championship. That was the first year for the Yankees. So if you want to subscribe to the notion of, with Harold Reynolds, you get the one championship, it's worth it. But then the Yankees got very sloppy, and they didn't develop players, and they were chasing kind of like the Knicks.
Chasing another one
while not rebuilding on the fly, but tweaking and aggressively retweaking, and that wasn't working. And it was kind of this odd place where the dust was now on the champion, certainly from the one in 96, 98, 99, and 2000. But even now in 2009, there's so much dust on that championship, but there's still an association. We expect the Yankees to win, or at least to be in the mix to win, and they've just kind of changed their financial philosophy. I think part of it's based on the pandemic. I think part of it is that people don't go to games the way they used to. I like the new stadium. I love the old stadium. By the way, I'm not even sure if I like the new stadium. I love the old stadium. And Teak, and I've been to 1 million playoff games, as you know, when that thing had 56,000 lunatics in it, stuffed to the gills, it's just different, man. It's a different it's a different energy. It's just different. They're built different. There's a lot of reasons why the Yankees have morphed into a B-plus product rather than the usual A-minus. I don't know if I can solve it all in one radio segment, but I'll tell you this. If you let somebody like Aaron Judge walk out the door, that B-plus could eventually go to a B-minus or a C-plus. You keep that guy in-house.
Yeah.
I don't care what it costs.
Yeah. The only reason that that we're having this conversation is because Hoff brought this up the other day, and we were talking about the Mets and how Steve Cohen is spending money. And if there's money to be spent, and he's now going to take on that role of New York big spender, why not go after? I would go after Aaron Judge.
I'll tell you why I wouldn't.
If you're Steve Cohen,
if you're
the Mets, why would you not?
Because I've got somebody else that's better than Aaron Judge, and that will be Juan Soto, and that's who I'm bringing in. Now, I thought I may have missed this. I don't think I did, but there was a thought that Juan Soto's 16-year-old brother was going to sign.
I saw that
with the Mets, but he didn't. He signed with the Nationals, right?
Correct.
Okay, he did sign with it. That was about a week ago where that came to fruition.
What's his name?
But there was I forget his first name, but there was a lot of conjecture that he was going to sign with the Mets. And then even Juan Soto had put something on Instagram within the last couple of months. Elian, there you go. I've seen his swing. Wow. I'm not sure. I'm sure he can run a little bit too, but his swing looks ridiculous, and it looks like he's got a long, lean body that'll fill out. Juan Soto, as much as I love Aaron Judge, Juan Soto, you could give me Acuna, you could give me Tatis. I think Juan Soto is the absolute, undeniable best hitter in baseball at his age.
But when are you getting Juan?
You're going to get him in what? Would that be 2 years?
He's free agent in 2025.
Yeah, 2 years.
So
3 years.
3 years.
But that's why you signed a couple of players this offseason.
Yeah, but
And you already have some good. Alonso's going to smack 40 bombs. You got Lindor. You got some players.
So are they mutually exclusive?
I don't think you're not bringing in Juan Soto, who's going to get $400 million, and Aaron Judge. I mean, let's be a little realistic here.
I'm just saying, money. You got to, if you want to spend money and you want to be great, and you want to have the best players, you want to be the most marketable team, you want to win World Series. Why not? Right? You got to do something reasonable. And the question is Aaron Judge going to? Talking about lengthwise, is Aaron Judge going to be amenable to something reasonable for the championship viability over the next 3 or 4 years, and then hopefully integrating Juan Soto as well? Like, if you're thinking of it that way, it makes a lot of sense if you're Aaron Judge. But I don't know. I don't get a sense of Aaron Judge's personality. Like, some guys you can look at, and not look at, but you can like just understand their situation, and you know they're breaking the bank. They don't even care. They're breaking the bank. I get the sense that maybe Aaron Judge isn't that, but I don't know.
I think he's a lot like Jeter in the sense that, number one, his leadership style is similar to Jeter.
Yeah.
A little bit more understated than, overtly in your face, which we appreciate because, you need both types of leadership. And I think he really has an understanding and true reverence for the uniform and the history, which obviously plays in the Yankees' favor.
Yeah.
Now, if somebody's going to give you $15 million a year more, or in totality, $90 or $100 million more, well, then that reverence could subside a bit. I mean, money talks eventually, but listen, this is not just to conjure up some ridiculous radio conversation and a hot take. I don't think Aaron Judge will ever step in the batter's box in Citi Field outside of an interleague game or the World Series. I mean, he's not playing for the Mets, but until he is signed, this is hanging over the head of the Yankees. So it's a fair, it's fair to have a bit of a speculatory nature to the conversation. All right, Don is in Basking Ridge, and Don is on the fan, Tiki and Tierney. Don.
Hey, guys.
What's up?
I just wanted to talk about that point that Sweeney brought up yesterday about, if the Yankees go over the luxury tax, you're basically going to be subsidizing the Rays. Can you explain that more? I don't know if I fully get
the money. But Don, the money gets dispersed around baseball once you go over that threshold, and then obviously a team like the Rays,
who don't
the
spend
A's,
money,
the Orioles, who have limited financial streams, then they obviously get a little bit of a piece of that. So you can subsidize it either through a minor league engagement, maybe get that extra stick, the extra third man in the rotation.
Yeah.
So that was a very astute point from Sweeney, and it's accurate.
But it wasn't. Don,
it's not talked about much.
But Don, don't think of it as directly like, there's a penalty for the Yankees, so that because they're in the same division that they get like direct cash. It's not necessarily that. Everybody gets it. But it's just more money.
It matters more to them.
And more, exactly. It matters more to the Rays because it's not a rounding error like it would be for, say, the Dodgers, for instance.
Now, if you were the Yankees, you were Cashman, would that be a main concern to you?
I wouldn't let Cashman make that choice. To me, that's not Cashman's call. That's management's.
Yeah.
This is above Cashman. Cashman, if I were the Yankees, Cashman's got no say in Aaron Judge.
But Don, to answer your question directly, no. If it was me, if I was in Cashman's position and I was saying, we go over the luxury tax, and the Rays are going to get an extra $1 million because of the disbursement. Okay, whatever. They get an extra $1 million. I got my guy. And I'm more on a trajectory to win a World Series than they are. But that's what I would care about.
Which, by the way, is not true because the Rays pitch better and catch the ball better.
True, but you know what I mean.
And they're better managed as well.
But you know what I mean.
Like I know. Theoretically,
in my mind, theoretically, I'm saying I'm doing what I think or know. It better be not think, but know is right for the team to win a championship.
Correct.
That signing Aaron Judge for the long haul creates a percept. Whatever it is, what it is.
I know what you mean. You're also trying to save your own ass. Let's be honest about one thing. Brian Cashman's got to start winning again.
Yeah.
I mean, I like Brian Cashman. I like him. I think he's great with the media in terms of being transparent. Doesn't run and hide. He's always available, and we need him on the show. He can't talk about players, so it's a little hard because you can't mention player by name because of the lockout. So I don't know really where we'd go with it. But I'd love to have him on. But I'll also say, with all due respect, I'm not so sure that Brian Cashman should be the GM in a year or two. I mean, I think the period of evaluation for Brian Cashman, for me, and just look up old tweets, has been the last 2 years. I'm like, you got no lefty thumpers. You got guys who can't run. You've got a bunch of DHs. You've got positional redundancy. You don't catch the ball. You sign in these bargain basement pitchers, Corey Kluber, these guys who get hurt every year.
Yeah,
I mean, geez, you're the GM of the Yankees. Act like it.
At 35 years old, Kluber, too.
Yeah,
Sounded
man.
good.
Yeah, if he's your fifth arm.
Yeah.
It's not when you lose Tanaka and you've got some other Severino's hurt as he was until he came back. Michael is in Elmwood Park. Michael is on the fan, Tiki and Tierney. Mike.
TNT.
Yo, dynamite.
Woo, TNT. Yeah, I used to be a singer. I could do ACDC X-Men.
Nice.
Hey,
Love it.
real quick. All right, well, you guys are on the Yankees thing. You know what? When it comes to Aaron Judge, you got to throw a boatload of money at this guy. You can never let him go.
Yeah.
The fan base that this guy has, the accolades, the merchandise, everything that goes along with Aaron Judge. Now, listen to me. People can give me flack for saying this, but Aaron Judge is much more of a Derek Jeter than Derek Jeter ever was.
Explain yourself. Go ahead. Explain yourself.
In his personality, I'm a right field bleacher creature since the 80s.
Nice.
I'm a right field bleacher creature since the 80s.
All right, we heard you.
And nobody has ever been so sociable with the fans. You know, this guy is the Yankees.
I love him.
He is.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to love him.
I love him.
You know, and again, the autographs he signs before the games, and he's just an accessible, lovable guy.
Yeah.
I have a thing going out. Now, Keith McPherson is a bleacher creature out there with me.
Okay. Does the
nice.
night
And
show
Keith
here at the
knows
fan?
is that I got something going with Aaron, is that when there's 2 outs, I yell, "How many outs, Aaron?" And he always flips me to 2, you know?
Nice.
Two.
Nice. Telling you peace.
Two dead, Mike.
Great.
2 dead, Mike. 2.
Hey. Yeah, go ahead, Mike.
Take real quick before I get cut off. I want to bring just a long memory. After your rookie season, when you were with Camilla,
Yeah,
you
Greg
came to Yankee
Cabela.
Stadium,
That's right.
and you came to my opening day party in the parking lot.
I do remember
You
that.
remember
actually.
this?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
Let's hear it.
Because
Yep,
Cabela was my
and-
dude. We were like young nobodies
Yeah,
at that
you
point.
guys were training up like in Oakland and everything together, and
Yeah.
and what I did was one of my friends wound up getting a real Cuban Cohiba,
That's right.
and I gave that one to you.
Nice. And I'm sure I smoked it.
Yep. No,
Nice.
I got a picture of you and me with our arms around each other,
Nice,
and
I
you
love it.
enjoyed it, and
I love
it was
it.
great.
Mike, are you
Listen.
on social media? I want you to post that picture, and we'll have a little fun with it here on the FAN account and our
Oh,
show.
totally. I'll pull
Put
that
it
out.
up.
It's awesome.
Put it up.
It is great.
Put it
Tiki
up.
looked happier than I did.
I love it. That's because he sliced open the Cohiba and he put weed in it. It was an expensive blunt.
It was probably one of the first cigars I ever smoked, too, by the way. If it was 1998.
I'm sure. And a Cohiba.
Yeah, a
You
Cohiba.
walked right to the good stuff.
Hey, but
man.
by the way, John, Jeter didn't
Good
play
call.
right field, so he couldn't engage with the blue
No,
chick
but I
creatures.
know.
Sorry.
Listen,
I know what he was saying,
Jeter was
too.
like a robot.
Yeah, I know.
Aaron Judge comes across as a human being,
Right.
which I love. All right, so I want to play something for you. This was, as we've referenced Sweeney a few times, this was yesterday on the fan with us, and this was Sweeney about once the lockout ends, what the Yankees might be thinking.
When the lockout ends, you're going to be in this big frenzy to try to get a lot. You know, they need a shortstop for this year, a
Yeah.
first baseman, maybe a center fielder, catcher, another pitcher, all these things for this year. Aaron Judge signing a contract extension is not a priority. And if you have 2 or 3 weeks to get deals done before you start a spring training camp, well, then that's not going to happen.
Okay, so I'm going to throw this out there again because I do think this is a part of the equation. Now, if he was hitting 230, this would be less of the equation. But you look at the marketable New York Stars right now. Randall was one, but his plight is what it is. KD doesn't say anything, and Irving, his story is very unique, and they're
Yeah.
great players. Harden's been here a minute, whatever. He might even get dealt. That wouldn't stun me. Rangers, they're really good, but is there that superstar? Well, there is. There are actually a couple, but. DeGrom's a pitcher every fifth day. Lindor was bad last year. Plus, he didn't treat the fans with respect with that whole stupid thumbs down thing. So where, outside of Joe, who's more marketable? Who's more beloved in the city? Jets and the Giants don't really have anybody right now. They're
Well, they
both
don't have
transitioning.
they don't have the success to even be in the conversation.
That's what I'm saying. It's a big part of it. So you look at the fact that he produces, that people really willingly, proactively reach into their pocket to go and see Aaron Judge.
Yeah.
And then when he plays, he's great. I don't know how he's not a Yankee for a long time. But, again, until the contract is signed, it's not signed. 877-337-6666.